Well, thank you for joining us for our TouchPoint training. We're going to start with the phone app and then move to the desktop computer website. What you're looking at now is the iPhone iOS app. It's called Prestonwood Connect, and you can find it at both the iOS App Store as well as the Google Play Store. Search for Prestonwood Connect. You'll find a application with the Prestonwood logo with a white background and a blue shield. And once that's downloaded, you'll load up the app. And this app is already logged in, but where you see the animated character under Pastor Graham, you'll have a blank icon. You'll tap on that, and then you'll see a screen where, go back a moment, you'll see a screen where you'll have the ability to sign in with a code. Tap on that link and then put in your email that that we have on file, and then we'll email you a 6-digit code that you'll go back to this screen with, and then you'll put in the code. It'll prompt you to create a password and get you logged in. And once you've logged in, this is a screen you will see. Now, this app eventually, hopefully one day, will replace the other Prestonwood app, but not yet. Right now, this is primarily for TouchPoint usage, our member database usage. And you have two main icons I want to turn your attention to. On the top right, you'll see the 3 lines, and then you'll see the animated picture again for this person who's logged in. Both icons will take you to a similar spot. Go ahead and tap on the user picture under Dr. Graham. When you tap on your picture, you have the ability to tap on the picture, the blank picture at the top, and then you can upload or take a picture of yourself to replace that photo with a photo of yourself. You can see here on the bottom, new picture, and you can rotate it and crop it. So you have the ability to go ahead and upload your own picture, which we'd encourage you to do so. Now, if we go back to this previous screen, you'll see this person's name happens to be JD Leader. This is a fake account we created for demonstration purposes. And you see the email for this person underneath as well. And you have several tools and activities that I want to turn your attention toward. Under tools, immediately under tools, you'll see a people search. And if you tap on that, you'll be prompted, by the way, when you create your account, to put in a PIN. That's good for security purposes because this is a member database. But you have the ability to people search for people within your roster. It's important to note that people search does not search our 30, 40,000 member database. It's restricted to your particular life group for privacy reasons, but you could search for somebody within your life group by name, phone, email, or address. I happen to know that this account has another person by the name of Leader within their group. So we're going to type in Leader and then search. And then you'll see 2 people. It's JD Leader and his spouse, Jane Leader. And if you tap on one of those 2 people, you'll be able to see contact information that we have for them within our system. This person doesn't have anything at the moment, but if you go back and look at JD Leader, you'll see some information for him, including phone number and email, related family and relatives. And on the top right, you'll see a downward arrow with a box. If you tap on that, you have the ability to save people's contact information directly into your phone. So this could be helpful to expedite the process of reaching out to people within your group. You can just go directly to your phone's contact directory. Let's go back to the initial screen. And here, that is the people search, again, restricted to your life group or whichever group you're involved with. Under tasks, you will see this person has a task assigned. The name for this person is Plano Campus Test 10. You see that in the gray writing underneath. This is another fake account that we created for demonstration purposes. And in the big black font, you'll see, please follow up, visited 9:30 worship. So this task is a really neat feature we're excited about, in that we as staff members, ministers, associates, and interns, we have the ability to create a task for leaders. Primarily, this could be useful for If you think about worship guests that we get, maybe they come to an event like Gift of Christmas or Easter Family Fun Day, we have the ability to create a follow-up task for that prospect. If we're able to get a hold of them and decide they're a great prospect for one of our life groups, we can create a task for the director of the group or another person that will tell you, please follow up with this person. We could insert notes. These are notes I happen to put in, but we can customize that. And then also when we create a task, it will initiate an email to you as well that will link you to this person's information. So this task had already been accepted, but it's a great way for us to assign, again, prospects to. You can see details here. If you're able to get a hold of that person, you can complete the task and put in notes and so forth. So that's a neat feature. Now we're going to go back, and underneath tasks, you'll see an attendance. Now let me pause here. Not everybody will see the attendance option. Shepherd group leaders, for example, do not have attendance taking abilities. And so that will not be present if you're not able to do attendance. Now, I know some maybe shepherd group coordinators who do take attendance. That's fine. If that is the case, just let your minister know and we can assign that ability for you. We just wanted to restrict it to those who most commonly take attendance, just to help limit that. But if you tap on attendance, you'll see this person's life group is a test group leader / family life group test. It has a meeting date and time. This is a fake group, so we don't have any 110 groups, but you'll probably see your life group with a maybe a 9:30 on a Sunday morning time and so forth. That's going to show the most recent date on there. If you tap on that group, you'll see members and guests within the life group. Now, this particular group does not have any guests present, so you don't see any guests, but guests will normally be at the very bottom underneath members. But this person for this date, this group for this date of May 18th has 0 people present. You'll see on the top the meeting date, the time, 0 members, 0 guests, and a head count. Now, before I say anything else, the head count, I'd ask you to please refrain from using that, because the head count, if you put in a head count, it will override individual attendance. It has no idea of knowing who is actually present. If you do the head count, it's just frankly, a limitation of the system currently. We are looking into adjusting that for future use. But right now, just forget about that. But underneath members, you see the X icon on the bottom right of each of the profile pictures. If you tap on the name or on that X on any of those people, you'll see it turn to green. Well, that means that that one member who's a teacher, North family, and then you see his wife, Sandy, was also tapped as present. You see now at the top, it automatically adjusted the number to 2 members present. So that's the way to take attendance within your life group. And above members, you'll see a gray bar with a magnifying glass. That is a search option. For our larger life groups, that could be helpful to help quickly filter to certain names. So you have that as an option as well. And if you make a mistake and accidentally count somebody present, all you have to do is tap on their name again, and it will mark them as absent. And you can see the number went back down to 0 members. And then on the top right, you'll see an add guest option. Now, this is useful for adding first-time guests into your life group, not recurring guests, because they should show up under the guests tab below members. But for first-time guests, this is helpful. Now, when you add a guest, it's going to start you by prompting you to search for that person within our database. Maybe they've come to our church before, have visited another life group, and we have their information already. So this will make things easier for you. So if we search for a name, you'll have options here to add them into your life group. Now, let's say the person, go ahead and search with John Apple. We do have a John Apple. Tap back, and you'll be able to add them into the list. Now, let's search for a made-up name here, Aaron Apple. We have nobody present. Now, when it says no results found, you have a family search and search again. Now, our system is designed to have you search a second time before we allow you to add in new information. Go ahead and hit search again. We'll start by doing a family search now. Maybe we can search for a relative. Let's try searching for another person. Now there's no results found. So now you have the option to add a new person. Now, if you tap add new person, you have the ability to insert information from gender to email address and marital status and so forth. And then once you add the person, it will add that person into your life group and into our system. So they will start showing up under the guest feature moving forward. Now, if we go back, and as we go back, I do want to mention that it's important to note the add guest feature. I'd encourage you to use that. However, I still want to encourage everybody and tell everybody to please continue using our paper forms. For now, these paper forms allow you to quickly take a yellow copy home with you and distribute that to your prospect coordinator and so forth. And so please continue to utilize the paper forms for the foreseeable future, but you do have that ability to utilize the digital form entry as well. Now we're going to go back one more time. And one other thing as well is we are still providing the paper rosters and cover sheets for the foreseeable future until we're confident every group is comfortable using TouchPoint. We've been asked, how do you include Zoom members? Well, TouchPoint doesn't have the ability to segregate between in-person and online. And so right now it's just in-person attendance counted within TouchPoint. Please continue to utilize the cover sheet. If you have people attending online, you'll see that option continue to mark them present. I encourage you to continue to get a guest count as well, especially this first several weeks while people are getting used to the app. Continue to get a head count and write it on that cover sheet as well. Now, underneath attendance, you'll see my activity. You'll have giving. This is an option that will show you your contributions sorted by year. You can do that to quickly see a record of your giving history. Now, it's important for me to mention that you have access only to your own giving information. I, as a minister, do not have access to your information. No leader, no member has access to your information. The only people in our church that have access to that information is our administration department that handles contributions. So it's highly private. So please don't be concerned about any privacy with that. Next under giving, you'll see pre-check-in. That is not really going to be used for us as an adult ministry, so don't worry about that, at least not for now. Under involvements, this will list the groups you are a part of. You see here under connect, you have leader, family, life group test with 3 dots to the right. Well, if you tap on that, you'll be able to see a directory of your life group. And this directory shows, again, all the people assigned, and you can then tap on names and get contact information for those individuals within the app. So that's super helpful for us. Now we go back to the initial screen. Under involvements, you have prayer requests, and prayer requests is the ability to tell our pastoral care team about prayer needs. Think things like hospitalizations, deaths in the family, other needs as well. We have the ability for you to directly contact our pastoral care team, who then notifies the appropriate adult life group minister. And so there's an option to do it anonymously as well, but it's a great way to submit it to our church. Now we go back, go down, we have profile. This profile will show your own information. And on the right, top right, you'll see if anything's incorrect, you have the ability to edit that. And we're going to go back before the profile and go down to family members. You have the ability to see those in your household. These are people that are either you or your spouse, or people who are minors within your household. They'll be listed. We go back from there. You have location. This will help you if you maybe accidentally selected the wrong campus, or you change to a different campus later. You can go and readjust the app to the appropriate campus. And then under settings, you have all sorts of options like biometric sign-in to use your Face ID or Touch ID to sign in. You can set a PIN and so forth for increased security. And so that is the phone app in a nutshell. If you have any further questions, we are more than happy to schedule any time of training with you or your group. as everyone is able to over the next several days and weeks. So please get with your individual minister on that. And now we're going to switch to the website. Now I'm going to share my screen, and I have a option here to show everything within the browser. Now this here is the TouchPoint website. It's at touchpoint.prestonwood.org. And when you log in to touchpoint.prestonwood.org from your computer browser, this is using Google Chrome, you have the ability then to log in. I've already logged in using the same information you used for the mobile app. And here I have, it takes me to my involvement screen. Now I'm going to start here actually going to personal, and you'll see a lot of similarities between the website and the phone app. It's laid out differently. I will tell you, I quickly tell people that the phone app is best for the Sunday morning experience. If you want to get more in depth with your roster and so forth, as you typically would throughout the week, the website is going to be most useful for that. Here on the website, I can go in and adjust my information. Just like before, I can set privacy settings and so forth. To the left, I have my profile. I can again change. If I click on this pencil icon, I can go in and adjust my photo. I see my family members and related families. We do have the ability to add in, for example, if you have a brother or sister-in-law who attends, a cousin, your parents, children, grandchildren, etc., are all a part of our church. You have the ability to set related families. That's helpful for y'all to see that, and then for us as well as staff. And family photo, there's no family photo on here, so I'm going to skip past that. You can see this is a primary adult with our Plano campus, and this person was just added. I do want to talk about that for a moment. You will see under this green rectangle things such as member, pending member, just added, or attendee. These flags indicate church membership status. Member is a member, of course. Pending member is somebody that has made a decision at some point to join our church through baptism, or made a profession of faith and is in need of baptism to join. And so that's what a pending member is. And then just added is somebody who is brand new into our system. So that's what that is. And that is the personal tab. I'm going to move over to the involvement. And under involvement, we have the life group here, leader/family life group test. And that shows this person is involved with this life group. I could click on previous and see the previous groups they were a part of, the enrollment date, drop date, and the member type. This person served as a director in both of these two groups previously. I'm going to skip past pending. We're not using that right now. Under attendance, I can see this person's attendance history, August 14th and so forth. And registrations, I'm going to skip past that right now as well. Under profile, I can see my membership status, just added. You'd probably see when you had joined, as you look at that, whether it's through baptism or whatever, you can see the date there. Again, giving, private, but I do have the ability to go in for my own profile to see my history there, and communications. I'm going to skip past that because we have some features there we're not utilizing yet as a church. But going back to involvement, if I go under involvement, current, I'm currently involved with this life group. If I click on this life group, it's going to load it. Just give it a second. When you click on your life group, you will get a view of your roster with more features than was available within the app. I'm going to try stopping and refreshing. Okay. Here is a view of the life group. It's a connect group, Plano campus, active group, main fellowship. These are just things that tell us this is basically an adult life group. And you're going to see tabs within your life group: people, meetings, registration. Under people, we have members, previous guests, prospects and guests. And you can see this group has 6 members of its life group, sorted by name, member type, church, status, age, birthday, communication, attendance percentage, dates attended and when they joined, and actions. So we'll go through these one at a time. Under here, I can click on links and see more information about them. Member type, again, these are all members. It also includes leaders as well. Leaders are members. We have teacher, greeter, director, and member. Church, not member, and then just added, another not member, and just added. You'll probably see several members within your group. And then you have the age and the date of birth. If I were to click on date of birth, I could sort the roster by date of birth, by month here. And you see how that could be helpful for your group to know which birthday is coming up. Communication with cell phone numbers and emails. If we have that information, you can see there's no information here for Jane Leader. We have attendance percentage. Shows JD Leader has attended 71.4% of the time. That attendance percentage is calculated by when this person first attended the group. So when they first joined that involvement or life group, and then from that point forward, how active is that group? And then you see dates, shows the last attended date and the join date. To the right is a couple of icons, drop member. I want to encourage you not to utilize that feature. You need to speak with your minister before dropping anybody. We want to do our best to ensure people are assigned to a life group unless we know for sure the person perhaps has passed away or has joined another church or joined another life group or moved out of the area. Those are some instances in which we would drop, but you still want to talk with your minister before doing so. So we ask you to please refrain from dropping anybody at this time. And then you have the ability to edit. We have not given y'all, frankly, the ability to edit someone's member status. But that's the way you could edit and make them leaders. That's something that we have to approve as a staff. So you can click on it and see certain information, but you don't have the editing ability for that like we would have as staff. And then adding members to add people as members to your group. Under previous, this will show, there's nobody listed here in this particular group, but previous will show anyone who has been a part of your group. Maybe they transitioned out at some point, no longer attend. This is all your previous folks. Prospects, as I mentioned with the phone app, if we get prospects as ministers, whether it's through our worship service or through an event or something else, they joined our church, we assign everybody who's in town to a life group. And we do the best we can to match it with the most appropriate life group for their life stage and availability, service time, and so forth. And so if you see any prospects, those are great people to follow up with, to invite to your life group. And then under guests, again, this group has no particular guest at the moment, but guests would show all of the people who have attended your class but not joined as members. And it's important to tell you too that guests will automatically drop off. They'll get moved to the previous tab after 9 consecutive months of inactivity. So you don't have to worry about cleaning up your roster from a guest standpoint. The system will do it for you. There is an ability to have guests join a life group as well. You'll see under there, I don't have it up at the moment, but you would see the ability to join involvement, and that would move them from a guest to a member into your life group. So you do have that ability to move them as a guest, as a member, as a guest from a guest, to a member if they indicate to you they've enjoyed attending your life group and want to become members of your life group. Now under meetings, you'll see previous meetings for this class. They have met May 18th, 17th, and so forth. We've had different test demonstrations throughout the time. But if I were to click on yesterday, for example, May 17th, this will show everyone who is present for this day. We had 3 people present. You see this over here on the right. You see of those 3, 1 was a member, 1 was a leader, and 1 was a guest. And the checkbox indicates who was present and who wasn't. So that gives you a quick ability. I could go up here and look up another time and see who was present or who was absent. You see over here, you have repeating guests as an option and visiting members as well. So there's all sorts of ways to get quick snapshot of who is active on which week. Again, that's under the meetings tab. Go from people to meetings. And registration, we are not utilizing that from a leader perspective at this time. This is highly technical and some of the back end stuff for your life group. So I would not worry about that at the moment. On the top right here, you should see a blue toolbar. There's a cog on the right, and that is not something for you to use at the moment. There is an email icon. You do have the ability to email individuals within your life group. If I were to click on this, it brings me to a template page. If I click on empty template, I can then go in and create an email from my account, JD Leader, to those who are present. I can add people into this as well. If I wanted to add people, and then create a subject. I can add somebody as a reply person, copy them, and I can click on edit content and then edit whatever email I want to put in. I can send a test to myself, save it as a draft. I can send it as well. Now, you do not have to utilize this. If you have a system that already works for you and your group, that's great. But this is an option that could be helpful when you think about new groups, figuring out their communication system. One other benefit as well is because it pulls automatically from our database, all the information we have that's most up to date will be used. So you don't have to keep up with email addresses utilizing this because it's all already pulled from our system. So that could be helpful. I'm going to go back a couple of times, again, back to the roster. So all leaders except greeters have access to this, to TouchPoint. Members of your life group do not have access. Guests do not have access. Only leaders on your roster, again, not including greeters, but all other leaders in your life group have access to TouchPoint. Now, as you add new leaders into your life group, it's important that we have their correct email address. Our system will pick up leader changes. Those who become new members within 24 hours will be given access to our system, TouchPoint system. Those who drop from leadership will lose roster privileges. They'll still have access to TouchPoint from the standpoint of their own profile, but they will not be able to see their life group anymore the way a leader can. So that's dropped off of their ability, both within the app and the website. So again, the URL for this is touchpoint.prestonwood.org. I'd encourage you to bookmark the page. And again, this is now all available to you today, starting to be able to be used this Sunday. So please utilize it, but also please remember to utilize the cover sheet as well and the guest forms as well that will continue to be provided to you. Again, if you have any questions, please contact your minister. My direct phone number as well, Jonathan Atkins, is 972-820-5236. Give me a call anytime. I'd be more than happy to help you out.